Peace, peace, everyone. How's it going? We're going to let a couple people come into the room, and then we're going to get started with the plant-based social. This is Chef Ruth the Truth. I hope everyone is doing well. All right, greetings, family.
Peace,
I am
peace.
I am glad to be on this live with you. I am Chef Ruth, the Truth Yasanto Abe. Come on, my welcome to Plant Based Social. This is your food, science, and social anthropology show here in the islands of Honolulu, Hawaii. Today's topic is creating energy vortexes, maintaining balance with vegetation, and also traveling off the unbeaten path. Now, we're with a divine being, a king in Atlanta, Georgia. Um, this has been a balance force in social media that he's been pushing, a mindset coach conducting clarity cleanses and mindset clarity programs um, in regards to balancing hormones, in regards to alkalinity in the blood, um, gut health, creating vital products for cellular upgrades like IMC Moss Jamaica that's in raw store right now. Rashon Fuller live with Chef in Atlanta, Georgia. Aloha family. Aloha Rashon. How's
Peace,
it going,
peace,
brother?
aloha. Peace, peace,
Thank
divine
you. I
queen.
thank you for all the good vibes you're putting out there, and thank you
Man,
for dwelling in this needed conversation. All
absolutely.
right.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure. And thank you for trusting me to be in your space.
Yes, yes, indeed, indeed. I'm a Ra. So tell us more about yourself and your work.
Okay. All right. So I'm Ra. Uh, I am, I guess what you would call an elocutionist. You know, something I tapped into very early in my journey. I realized that I could take what often is considered complex or um, difficult to wrap your mind around and comprehend. I could take it and I could draw analogies and put it in a way to help people not only understand, but tie it into other things to really bring it home, hence elevating them. So that's something that I did uh, all my life. When I look back on this, like I was just always drawn to wanting to help people evolve and go higher, as well as myself. It's, of course, starting with myself, wanting to go higher, being ferociously curious. So at this stage, I am uh, a, I guess you can say I'm like a mindset coach. I help others um, who are seeking. I help them tap in and discover their infinite potential and then show them ways to unfold it, manifest it, and constant elevation. Um, and that's pretty much that's right.
That's raw. That's raw. Now, what sparked me in my interest to Rashan's methods and creativity, his energy, and work on this planet, creating vortexes. Now, I meditate. I go into solitude and you know try to separate myself from social media. I watch the things that I say as far as my language, though it seems being in an energy vortex serves a purpose that the masses do not know. So, my understanding of energy vortex from an outsider looking in, and maybe I do this naturally, maybe I'm just not aware. of the manifestations. Um, but energy vortexes has a lot to do with health and healing, and on a serenity vortex level, as far as creating a better health in your body, bringing materialistic things into my life, even with practice to change what's going on in other people's lives. So all of these are possible using energy vortexes. And my main focus, Raw, is how do you create an energy vortex with your body and nature to create a better health in your body, and where do you start with that?
Indeed. So I guess I'll start with really trying to let's get some framework to what
Okay,
a
sure.
energy vortex actually is, you know.
Yes.
So when you talk about an energy vortex on the planet, the way that's kind of described, it's like these imaginary lines. They're called Lee lines, right? Ley, Lee lines. And these lines crisscross, and they are energy that's crisscrossing, and these places where these Lee lines cross or intersect is considered an energy vortex, and it's considered kind of sacred. Like for example, one of the energy vortexes is in Sedona, Arizona,
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
supposed to be this place where all this energy just surges. So if you're trying to heal, if you're trying to finish some type of creative project, if you're trying to, um, release some type of trauma or whatever the objective is, right? To meet some goal, you leverage that energy. So people go there for that purpose. If they're trying to finish a movie, if they're, whatever the goal is, often they'll go to a place like that and try to sit inside of this place where energy is surging. Okay. My view on that is I think one of the biggest things that stops us from having the right kind of perspective and the right kind of mindset that allows us to just blast off is because we see so much separation. Like we don't understand it's all energy.
Yes.
We are all energy, right?
Okay.
And I don't think we understand what that really means. I got a ebook that I'm working on. It's called Cracking Atoms.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole concept of relativity is like this formula of E equals MC squared, right? And I'm gonna keep it real simple. What is basically is describing is explaining how much energy is inside of mass or matter. And once they begin to understand how much energy was condensed inside of what we call matter, they realize that if they could crack it, that they could release that energy and manipulate it, whether it's electricity or power. But the releasing of one atom, a uranium 233, is what we see as an atomic bomb.
Wow.
That's one atom. We are composed of trillions of atoms.
Millions of atoms.
How much energy is that? So,
That, that,
you know what I mean? So it's like I don't think in terms of energy vortexes, in terms of some place we go or some place we position ourselves. I look
okay.
at us as the magnetic fields,
Mm.
and we attract the energy based on what we're putting out. Like I guess the perfect example is, let's say you have a pine cone that falls off of a tree.
Okay.
That pine cone is a seed.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So that seed has the ability to produce an entire pine tree. So how does it do it? It is conditioned that inside of it, not as the pine tree itself, but inside of it is a set of code and energy that allows it to attract all the necessary energy to produce a pine tree.
Mm.
But it cannot produce an oak tree. It will not attract the necessary energy to produce an oak tree
Yes.
or apple tree. It will only attract the energy needed to produce what it's composed of. We have the capacity, unlike the pine cone, we can produce a thought, which is like a seed, and we can produce the oak tree, the apple tree, the Lexus, the house, you know what I'm saying? Like, we
You
can go
hitting
on.
it, right? You hitting it. We can go on. Wow, that's a massive. So in terms of creating that energy vortex, we are that magnetic field. That's what you're saying. We are that foundation, and that
With a
comes from
piece,
us.
with a piece with the magnetic in it.
Mm. And we also have to maintain those energies as well, maintaining that mental balance. And I do it with vegetation. I eat well. I'm active. I can multitask and do all the other plant-based and technology high advanced things. But what about the consistency, the constant flow of elevation? I see you as a constant flow of elevation, Every time I see you on my timeline, a constant flow. It's a lifestyle. So how do we maintain that with vegetation? Um, the food that we eat, does it truly affect our manifestations and our energy?
Yeah. So I'm gonna take you right back to that atom. If we look at that atom, my
Hmm.
question to you would be, if you look at the structure of an atom and you go inside it, which is all we're composed of. So instead of looking at this whole multi-organism functioning with all of these cells and organs and systems, let's just break it all down to a basic atom. Okay. Inside of that atom, you have a nucleus, which is this proton and this neutron combined, they form a nucleus. And revolving around that nucleus is an electron. So my question would be, have you ever seen an atom run out of energy?
No.
Do you have to charge an atom up? Like, because it's just
I
getting
don't
weak and
think so.
the electron don't have enough energy. Like
I mean,
these
maybe.
these atoms have no, they are uh they have a said birth record, but they are billions of years old. Like, we call ourselves new when we're a baby, but the atoms that compose us are not new. They're recycled. And these atoms are constantly forming um, compounds, and they're building and creating. And when we call something death, the atoms don't die, they just go into another form, right? So my question started as like, where does this atom get its energy? An atom doesn't need water, it doesn't need food, it doesn't need anything, it doesn't even need sunlight. So we got melanin and we draw this sun and we produce energy and vitamin D. We produce all these things from the sun, but the atom itself is self-sustaining.
Wow.
So, but we
Wow.
have we have blood.
Right. We have,
Blood
yeah.
does need
That's
nutrients.
okay.
Okay. So I wanted to explain that part because sometimes I think when we
That's
say we're
massive.
low energy, I mean, I have fasted for extended periods of time, and I ain't run out of no energy. So I wanted to put that part out there first.
Yes, that is true.
Some of this stuff being here, we go 3 hours without a meal, and we like, my levels is low. I need to eat, and that's more, yeah, that's more conditioning than it is actual. Okay. So with that being said, I'll deal with the nutrients part, right?
Okay.
The reality is food is a transfer of energy. The plant is yielding its body and its blood, if you will, which is sugar. It's yielding its body in exchange to give us energy, right? If you're going plant based, so you take this plant or this fruit and you consume it, and you're getting nutrients from it. You're getting minerals, iron, zinc, um, magnesium, this goes on. So you're getting these minerals and vitamins from the food, but what does the minerals do? What is the point of iron? Well, iron allows oxygen to bind to it, which we call hemoglobin. It binds to the iron because it's a heavier metal. And that is how the oxygen is able to get pumped all the way to our toes,
Yeah.
right? The oxygen is riding on the iron. It gets to those areas and then it releases the oxygen, and then the cell takes the oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. That same carbon dioxide binds back to that iron and is able to move back toward the lung so that we can exhale, giving it back to the plants. That process is gorgeous. It's such a divine process. Of course, problem is we've started eating the wrong foods. We have that beautiful access to that beautiful process, but we eating pigs and bears and lions. We eating everything, and that's where
Yes,
it
and
goes
that
wrong.
is where it goes wrong, bruh. And that
Yeah,
is my next point. You know, when you can't maintain, and I don't want to use the word can't, but when people fall off, you know, and they travel that beaten path, they're traveling, they're on the unbeaten path, you know, they're on that path, whether it be heartbreak, whether it be loss of family, whether it be not motivated, illness, illness in your energy, seeking attention and getting burnt out. All of these uh, these path stoppers, these blockages, you know, uh, is there a strategy to traveling off of the beaten path? I know you must seek clarity, you know, and I know with your clarity cleanse, you state that there must be a plan to be your most powerful self, you know,
yeah,
and we have all of these distractions. They're coming at us with every angle from music, food, exercise, diet, things like that. How and where do you start? What strategies do you have to put in place to be your most powerful self?
yeah. It's a good question. Um, my approach to it and the way I design my programs, I look at it like the stress that you described of life. Um, I think we're designed to handle that, right?
Mm,
And I don't think there's going to be a time where we're not getting those kind of trials and tests and tribulations and stress. And it's the way that we grow, right? It just is. So it's stressful living life. Like it just is. All the complexity of emotions and losing people and the trauma, all of that. I find the biggest problem is on top of that, very early in life, so many of us get introduced to the concept of food and eating in the wrong way. So we get addictions early in life. So what's happening as we get older, it's almost like coming to someone who is a drug addict and just telling them, come on, man, just kick it. Just stop
mm,
doing the drugs and just drink this herbal tea. Like it just doesn't work like that. If you really have someone who is an alcoholic or someone who's dealing with drug addiction, they need help. They need to detox. So you take them to a center where someone helps them detox off of the chemicals that they're addicted to. And that's my approach. I think as long as we're addicted to sugar, as long as we're addicted to, these whites, the white breads, the white rice, the white potatoes, and all these things that are so high on the what do they call it, the index, um what's the term, the high on the think of it in a second, but basically
mm,
the glycemic index. So it makes this stuff turn to sugar so fast that it's like a drug. It's a rush. And the brain, which is sucking 60% of all the glucose in the body, because it has so many functions, it's so dominant. It needs constant supply of that glucose.
Yeah.
So when we're eating these foods, we're used to getting these slow rushes. To turn around and eat something that is a slow release like fiber, we struggle with that until we've detoxed and moved some of those things out of the system. And that's usually my approach. It's like, okay, we got to clean that gut. We got to clean that colon. We got to replace the bad bacteria with healthy flora. That's very, very important. We got to thin the blood, alkaline the blood, and allow all the poisons trapped in the lymph nodes to be
Mm-hmm.
drained so that it could be moved out of the body. All the toxins trapped in the visceral fat cells
Yes.
that's stored, the toxic metals and stuff coming from the waters and the fluorides, the body is working. It's
Yeah.
trapping it in the lymph nodes, it's trapping it in the visceral fat cells. The body is, going to work, but we're not doing what's necessary for the body to move these things out so that we can get healthy, we can get our natural taste buds back, so we will crave the right kind of foods when once we're introduced to them.
Understandable. So coming off of that beaten path, mentally, spiritually, physically, we have to cleanse. We have to cleanse our mental. We have to cleanse our physical, which is detox, which is fasting, and programming your mind with more positivity, with more universal laws, with well-rounded versions of a plant-based life. That's real heavy, Ra. I appreciate that information. Ra has given us a well-rounded version of a plant-based lifestyle from physical, mental to spiritual. This is all about sound mind and living your best life authentically. Okay, and
Absolutely.
I most definitely thank you for your radiation and your energy, Ra, and your education to uplift us. And
Absolutely.
I believe that there are a couple keys that Ra can definitely help you with as far as his clarity cleanses, and he also has a mindset coaching program that he has. And also, I know a lot of people here, we don't grow sea moss here. Sea moss doesn't grow here in Hawaii. And Raw has some I am sea moss and purple sea moss that's in the store.
Yeah,
Very, very great thing to see. So all around, Raw is putting out on social media positivity, mental stability, things that will help you clean. And so go check out his profile, go check out his website because especially in this times when we are creating, we're getting out of our comfort zone and creating ourselves. Also, we're becoming more spiritual in a sense. We're awakening. They would say the age of Aquarius. So go to Ross page, check out the transformation. IGTVs he has, the reels he has. All of those are very potent information in such a short time, that information can get to you and it can unlock different seeds and sources, so I'm thankful for your energy and putting it out there, Raw, and for your time. And being on plant-based social, we would love to have you here in Hawaii sometime. I know
that's
I
what's up.
need to get back to Atlanta and get some good vibes there as well. And one more quick question before you leave. What type of material or that we can use to help us assist as far as energy and grounding? Is there a material that you use that you suggest that we can pinpoint ourselves to help us access a certain energy or vibration?
Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily say a material other than
Okay.
books, you know.
Yeah.
Um I'm a of course I'm a ferocious reader. Um and what I'll do is I can send you a list of some books that's in my rotation, and you can provide that, to the listeners. But what I would say is I would recommend a few exercises, I'm big on deep breathing.
Sure.
I'm big on
Yes.
meditation. I think, going back to the energy vortex, um, There's a lot of talk about grounding, but
Mm.
what's happening when you're grounding is you're basically getting free electrons from the earth. And the
Oh,
essence of energy is electrons. And the essence of health is being electrical. So when we're grounding, we're able to replace free electrons, which is essential in fighting free radicals, which is the
wow.
foundation of disease and the foundation of cancers and things like that. So those are wins, just taking off your
Absolutely.
shoes and socks, touching the earth, walking on the earth, connecting with the earth, breathing deeply, diaphragm, back straight, erect, deep breaths, not that panning stuff we do, coming deep from the diaphragm, up and
Mm.
hold and exhale completely. You can be feeling a particular way and breathe for 3 to 5 minutes and watch your whole energy shift right there. You could be angry, you could be filled with anxiety, and you can just through breathing, you can watch it shift.
Wow.
So those are just a few things that I like to engage in that just helps me raise the vibration and keep it high.
Yeah, yes, Ra. I'm a Ra. That's what I'm talking about. See, and these are all things we need, especially being in the community that we are in, getting this information. I'm thankful for your time, Ra.
My
And
pleasure.
again, that mindset clarity program. Y'all go on Ra's page and look at all of the sources of energy, that is coming out of this being, this man. And I'm thankful we crossed paths. So
No doubt.
again, y'all, this is Chef Ruth. This is
No.
Chef Ruth the Truth. This is Plant Based Social. This is your host for your food science and social anthropology show. Shalom, aloha, and eat well. Keep those vibes high. Get those energy vortexes in. Change your language. Change your life. You know. And again, Ra, aloha, and
No
mahalo
doubt.
for coming on.
Aloha, Queen. So thank you. I just want to say, Ruth, I'm watching you grow. I'm watching you do your thing. I'm watching
Thank
you in
you.
that kitchen on your chef game. I'm watching you in those local farms, and that's what's making the difference. That right there, you're
Mm,
touching it. We could be plant-based, but some of us are not touching it. Touching the earth, touching the plants.
mm,
Being where the food is coming from, and connecting with it on that level. So I salute you. Keep doing that. You're a very important part of this whole ecosystem, man. So, um, just kudos to you, salute to you, and don't stop what you're doing.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
And make
yeah.
sure y'all go follow Rob. His website is also on there. His link tree is on his bio. Okay, he has the Clarity Cleanse and also the Mindset Clarity programs and his CMOS, which I'm about to go get. All right, so you
No
know,
doubt.
stay well, always stay well, stay vibrant. And if y'all have any questions, just hit me up. This is Plant Based Social, June's series of Plant Based Social. All right, we're going to keep coming with it with the good vibes. All right, aloha and peace, Ra.
No doubt.
Blessings to you
Peace.
and
Peace
yours.
to you, Queen. Blessings.
All
Blessings,
right.
everyone.
Thank y'all again for joining me for Plant Based Social. We was just with Rashon Fuller in Atlanta, Georgia. He gave us the quick soup of the energy vortexes, maintaining balance while being a vegan, vegetarian, staying on the path, of good detox and good levels of energy. Okay, so join us next time on Plant Based Social. We're going to have some more special guests. Go follow Rashawn Fuller and Aloha. This is Chef Ruth the Truth. Y'all, Santawabe. Thank you. Ekomomai, Mahalo, Nui Loa.